Giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Akakwadash, the bonus to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and the sincere shalom to the doctrine that's out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. Real quick video on this article that I came across. Late night talk shows to go dark. You gotta ignore this ad that I can't cancel out for whatever reason. Goes dark as writers strike begins. All right. This is I've never watched this show, but I hear about it, ads and commercials and stuff like that. Um, this talk show here, the Tonight Show starring Fallon. All right, and I've been hearing about this show. I've always heard about this show. So as time goes on, man, as you can see, man, as time goes on, things is really going to start changing. You know what I'm saying? And this video is not specifically just on this, but it's in general. It's in general, right? You're going to start seeing more cancellations. You're going to start seeing more things shut down and stuff like that, because the Lord is really stirring people up. Strikes, protests, riots, all this stuff, man. The Lord is really stirring people up, man. Big time. Big time. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to roll through this video, not very long. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, number start at verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh. All right. When thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, right? So remember the Creator in the days of thy youth. The youthful days is better. You can say it's better to learn when you're younger, but this is not exactly talking about age, right? Because it says, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, right? Because you got people of all ages waking up now, man. All right. You got people of all ages coming into the truth. So it's not exactly talking about age, but more so of being early. You know what I'm saying? Seeking his face early. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till the last minute, because the Lord ain't dealing with that last minute BS. That's why that whole, I think they call it a 7 year after the rapture and shit like that. It's just like people would already, you know what I'm saying? The Lord ain't dealing with that last minute stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? That just gives people the opportunity to freely sin right now. But then when the 7 year rapture, when the 7 year tribulation comes after the rapture, it's just like, well, damn, everybody pretty much got it now, right? So just kind of leaning towards a little bit on that too, right? Anyway, I'm gonna get to the point. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon, all right, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, all right. So while all hell hasn't broken loose yet, you slowly starting to see it with the shutdown of these shows, the shutdown of restaurants, big establishments like amusement parks and stuff like that. This stuff is really happening, man. All right, it's happening fast too. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Right? It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. When the grinding, we got more my grind, right? Money, making money, working, right? The grinding is going to cease. All your constructing, your average work noises, your construction noises, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be dead silent, man. And it was kind of like that when this whole C virus had kicked off. All right. It says, and the grinders cease because they are few. All right. So when people start like that's a prime example of this, man. You know what I'm saying? Writers going on strike. And he said, look, I can't do this without my writers. You know what I'm saying? So the grinding is going to cease because there are so few people, going to be working, man. And what happens when, like, for example, everybody like complain about these Mexicans, man, but these Mexicans keep a lot of these establishments going. Everybody complain about that. What happens when all the truckers go on strike? You know what I'm saying? That affects everything, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to affect so many jobs, man. So when the majority of your workers, you know what I'm saying, the majority of your workers, you know what I'm saying, go on strike. right? Your business is pretty much going to fail because nobody's there to work. I mean, it only makes sense. It says, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. He shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Music, your entertainment, and all this other stuff, man. Right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another scripture. All right? Isaiah chapter 24, verse 11. It says, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Okay, so when you go to, so there's a crying for wine in the street. I'm going to go a little bit into that, just a little bit. But when you look at mirth, you know what I'm saying? When you're in a state of mirth, exaltation, all right, or exaltation, all right, joy, rejoicing, right? So that's mirth. Okay, so you could only imagine what I'm going to go into with that wine. Okay, because wine does what? Wine does what? It makes you feel good. Wine is pleasure, right? So there's a crying for wine, a crying for pleasure, and I'm going to get that in a second. In the streets, all joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone, and that's what's getting ready to happen, man. I mean, help. You can see how miserable people are anyway. All right. It says, and the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So we'll go back up here, and there's a crying for wine in the street. Now I'll go to the 1311. So like a 1382, not 1311, 1382. John Wycliffe Bible. All right, and in this same scripture, all right, what was that? Isaiah chapter 24, verse 11. Okay. Now I'm gonna read this the best way possible. All right, because this is very old English. You talk about 1382, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, cry shall be on wine in streets. All right. All gladness is forsaken, and I want to say joy. All the joy of earth is is taken away. All joy of earth is taken away. Remind you, because this is 1382. When was the J? You know what I'm saying? When was the J invented? Right. So this is long before that J was invented. Okay. So there's a wine, right? You see how they spell wine. Now that's kind of important. I want to see what happens if I Google search that. Never have done it yet. Okay, there we go. Literally joy. Right? Wine. Right? Wine. You see how they added the extra N to that, right? Yep. So that proves that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying earlier. Wine does what? It makes you merry. You know what I'm saying? It makes you joy. It makes you joyful. And there's a crying for that in the street now. You can even go. If you don't really want to trust that. If you don't really trust that Google search like that, you could go to the etymology. I actually looked this up before. I literally just did that because I was just curious, right? And sometimes I do things like that on video because we don't we don't you know what I'm saying? We don't plan these videos. Whatever happens. So you can see here, it literally says the same thing. Wine, so called for being first letter of that word, which literally means delight, pleasure. All right. So delight and pleasure. So that's all it is, man. So there's a crying for pleasure in the streets of America. This is why you got everybody acting the way they do. This is why you got everybody driving the way they do. You know what I'm saying? Miserable the way they are, because they're looking for some type of pleasure. They're looking for some type of answers. You know what I'm saying? This is why you always have wars. This is why you always have riots and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You always have your neighbor looking at you funny, or you go to the store, you got people looking at you funny, always want to be the one up. or something, man. Something. There's always some bullshit here on this earth, man. I was getting ready to say in America, but it's all over. It's all over. Why? Because everybody's looking for some type of answer. They don't know that the answer is in the Bible. As far as our people, they don't know that their answer is in the Bible. But there's a crying for that in the streets, and this is why you have everybody acting the way they're doing. When Jacob's trouble hits, it's going to be escalated because people are really going to try to find some pleasure. People are really going to try to find cry. People are really going to be crying for that wine, man, that Babylon wine, which is spread throughout the entire world, right? Anyway, that's all I pretty much had on this, man. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Shalom.